So, when you think about the most respected jobs out there, you probably jump to doctors, maybe lawyers, right? But what if I told you that another profession, one that gets a bad rap for just being about crunching numbers, actually belongs right up there with them? Today, we're diving into the world of accounting, and you're about to see why it's so much more dynamic and important than you probably think. I know this might sound a little wild, but the sources we're looking at today put accounting on the exact same level as doctors, lawyers, and even teachers. Just let that sink in for a second. We trust these other professions because they have this incredible technical skill and a deep ethical judgment that, let's be honest, most of us just don't have. So you gotta ask the question, right? Why? What is it about balancing the books and filing reports that earns accountants a seat at that table? What makes their work so foundational to, well, everything, our whole society and the entire global economy? Okay, to figure that out, let's start with the what. Because accounting isn't just one single thing. It's this huge field with a bunch of different specializations, and every single one plays a really critical part in how our world works. You can basically think of accounting as having two main faces, two sides of the same coin. On one side, you've got financial accounting. This is all about looking outward. It's about taking what's already happened, recording it perfectly, and creating these standardized reports for investors, for regulators, for you and me. Then you flip the coin, and you've got management accounting. This is all about looking inward. It's forward thinking, using all that same data to help a company's leaders make big strategic decisions for the future. And in this world, you have auditing. This is where accountants pretty much become financial detectives. Seriously, an auditor's whole job is to be this completely independent investigator, digging through a company's books to make sure everything is fair, it's accurate, and it's playing by the rules. That final opinion they give, that's the seal of approval that makes the entire financial system trustworthy. And of course, you can't talk about accounting without talking about taxation. Now, this is way more than just filling out some forms. It is a super specialized field. You have to know these incredibly complex, always changing tax laws inside and out. These accountants are absolute lifesavers for people and for companies who are just trying to follow all those dense rules and make sure they're doing everything right. You know, all those ideas of transparency and being held accountable, they apply to the government too. That's where governmental accounting comes in. It's this whole other specialized field that's just focused on tracking public money. It's the system that lets us see what government agencies are doing, keep an eye on state budgets, and feel confident that our tax dollars are being handled the right way. And the last field we'll touch on is budgeting. This is really the art of drawing up a financial map for the future by forecasting and planning ahead. And you know, this is a perfect example of how all these fields are connected. Budgeting is a huge part of that forward-looking management accounting we just talked about. It's how you take a big idea and turn it into a real, concrete financial plan. So, now we know the playing field. Let's meet the players. Who are the people actually doing all this work? We can really break the profession down into four main roles, and each one is defined by who they work for and what their main job is. You've got the independent watchdogs, the internal strategists, the guardians of the public trust, and of course the people who teach them all. Let's meet them. First up is the public accountant. The best way to think of them is as an impartial referee. They work for independent firms, not the companies they're looking at, which is key, and they are bound by this super strict code of ethics. Their job is just to call the game fairly and give that unbiased opinion that builds all of our trust in a company's finances. Then, on the other side, you have the management accountant. This person is the company's internal navigator. They work inside the business, taking all that financial info and using it to chart a course, to map out strategy, and to guide the day-to-day decisions. They're the ones who turn all those raw numbers into smart advice that helps a company move forward. Next up, we've got the government accountants. You can think of them as the guardians of public money. They work inside government agencies, and their duties are massive, from watching over the nation's finances to managing public property and auditing government programs. I mean, they're basically responsible for the financial integrity of the entire public sector. And finally, we have the role that makes every other role possible, the accounting educator. These are the professors and lecturers who are dedicated to teaching the next generation. They are absolutely critical. They're the ones shaping the future, making sure that every new accountant has the skills and, just as importantly, the strong ethical standards the profession demands. So check this out. This slide really pulls it all together. It's like a whole ecosystem. You've got the public accountant on the outside, providing trust. You've got the management accountant on the inside, driving strategy. The government accountant is there ensuring public accountability, and the educator is the foundation for all of it. Each role is totally different, but they're all connected and they all depend on each other.
Okay, so when you put all these pieces together, all the different fields, all the different professionals, you start to see this final, really powerful idea emerge. You realize accounting isn't just some service you hire. It's so much more.
And here it is, the big takeaway. Accounting isn't just about crunching numbers. It's the language of business. It is the universal system we all use to talk about financial reality, to measure what success looks like, to make sure things are fair, and to make smart decisions. It doesn't matter if you're an investor, a manager, or just a regular citizen. If you can understand this language, you can understand how the world actually works. And that leaves us with one last question to chew on. If accounting truly is the universal language of business and finance, it's probably worth asking yourself, how fluent are you? Thanks for joining us.